Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll for a wonderful night of racing action here from the beautiful Richmond Raceway for the Slingshot Sim Racing Series. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it, baby. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a good time. We're going to be in for a treat here on the evening. We are absolutely pumped. We are ready to rock and roll here on the evening as these drivers get ready to be set loose here at Richmond. Welcome in as we get ready to set these drivers loose. Qualifying underway right here. So qualifying currently underway as drivers are getting ready to rock and roll. We're going to get ready for our opening race here, our first laps of Green Flag Racing about to come right at us as drivers are going to be loading in behind the sim here. They're going to get ready for this main feature event in just a few more moments as they get loaded in. They are ready to rock and roll. They are ready to go to battle here on the evening. And let me tell you, chat, we're going to have one epic race, man. This is going to be one heck of a day, one heck of a race. As drivers getting loaded in, we'll go through our starting grid here from Richmond Raceway with the beautiful Slingshot Sim Racing crew. As we're going to get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here in just a second. Hey, what in the world's going on here? What's happening here, chat? What in the world's going on with my monitor? What's going on?
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Boys and girls, start those engines. Kevin James coming in there, giving us a little bit of a scare as we get ready to rock and roll here. 150 laps the distance here from the beautiful Richmond Raceway with these NASCAR Cup cars as they get loaded into the sim. Each and every one of them looking for the win here on the evening. And starting in the pole position in the TaylorMade, number 71, that is Greg O'Berry. To his outside in the 2 ride, that is Zach Lockett. And the inside, row number 2. Beautiful looking ride here. It's the Volt Tech machine. That is William McKellar. To his outside in the Sim Motion, number 13, that is Christian Delgado. Starting in position number 5 on the Speedway in the Good Wrench, number 3, that is not Austin Dillon, but it is Ira Colas out there on the Speedway. Starting in the 6th position in the Exalta McNeil Media, number 48, that is John McNeil. And down on the inside, our row number 4 on the Speedway, it is the JB Designs number 94, the Scary Strokes ride, that is John Fowler. To his outside in the Bass Pro Shop Tracker Boats, and number 20, that is Russell Martin Jr. And then starting there in position number 9 on the inside of row number 5, that is the STP Scary Strokes number 43 on Doug Roth. To his outside will be the 10 ride of James Smith. Smith will start there in that 10th position in the 10 ride. Then we see the E&D Farms number 84 of Bryce Dickinson. To his outside, the 19 of Sean Jessic in the Anything EC machine. Adam Pettit there in 13th. We'll have Andrew Hainsley down to his inside, and Ty Dickinson in the Stay Salty Papa Mike Promotions 5-6 Graphics Sweet Tea Gang Peacemaker Gaming number 67 ride there in the 15th position as Christopher Delwato. Chris Delwato, unfortunately, Christopher DeWald. I don't know what I was trying to say. Christopher DeWald, unfortunately, not starting out there on the Speedway, so he'll have to get started from down pit side there in the 82 ride. And John Ross, our man with the plan, the master man, the admin in the family here, he is up there in the booth making sure that these drivers stay cool, calm, and collective out there on the racetrack as we'll get ready to set these drivers loose. We'll get ready to go Green Flag Racing this next time by the start-finish line as Richmond Raceway putting on a good show here again for us, man. We've seen some great racing here as Locked In Lockett says Nate Barrows says me and my homies want to see Lockett win. We all want to see Lockett win. Feel like we all want them. What happened to the fancy clothes? What's wrong with the nice hoodie here, brother? What's wrong with the nice hoodie, okay? What in the world is going on here? I'm getting roasted for my hoodie, my beautiful KT Services hoodie. What in the world? As we go green flag racing here at Richmond Raceway, Greg O'Berry out in front leads us down the back straightaway into quarter number 3 for the first time, and out at quarter number 4, the tailor-made number 71 machine will lead lap number 1 here on the evening. Zach Lockett settles in there in second as McKellar in the Fallout 76, number 75 ride the Fallout New Vegas machine. They're in that third position with Christian Delgado. They're in position number 4 and looking for more. As Delgado rolls in that 5th spot, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as here comes Delgado working himself around McKellar for position number 3 here on the Speedway. Andrew Ainsley coming in with the like and the share on the broadcast. Jimmy Phillips coming in with that like as well. Cheryl Calloway coming in with the thumbs up, and Mama Bear Susie Dickinson with the heart reaction and the Let's Go Dickinson boys. Cheered on the Dickinson boys out there on the Speedway as McKellar slides back to 4th. John McNeil there in the 5th position. Look out! He's going to go for a slide, and we are going to see a caution flag. Actually, 2 corresponding spins almost at the same time here as Bryce Dickinson also goes around down in corner number 1 and 2. As we saw both drivers have issues here down in 1 and 2 on the speedways. We'll take a look here at the E&D Farms number 48 of Bryce Dickinson as he sends it into the corner and just fortunately loses the rear end, slides up. Smacks into the outside fence right there. Pretty heavy damage for that 84 ride as the E&D Farms Papa Mike Promotions number 84 of Dickinson will have to go to work at that crew, beating those fenders back into a good position here. As take another look at it, it's just right there. Just gets a little loose coming in, and rear end just steps out. He's trying to get it, trying to save it, and unfortunately can't get it to stop as he gets up into the outside fence at the almost exact same time. We also saw the 48 ride of McKellar here. He gets very loose on corner exit here as he gets back onto the throttle. We'll see this 48 just get onto the gas, and he goes around as the 84 and the 48 ride both having issues. You see them both there on the screen as gimmick that up, the 48 and the 84. Dang. As we'll take a look here at this 48 ride, McKellar on board as we'll hear him go up through the gears here. And right as he was kind of getting back onto the gas there, just that rear end just losing some traction. The car just kicks out and around on. That's going to be a big storyline here all evening long. We're going to see drivers run into that issue throughout this night. We're going to have a lot of cars probably lose that rear end, have those type of issues here around the speedway, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go as Bryce Dickinson coming in with the like on the stream. What's good, Bryce D. Bear? Bryce coming in, smashing that thumbs up on the broadcast. How are you, Bryce? Coming in, showing the love here in this one as we'll get them ready to rock and roll here once again as my boy NJB Designs coming in, showing the love over there on the YouTube channel. How are you, brother? Coming in, showing the big love over there on the red site as we'll get ready to set these drivers loose. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments as whew, whoops, says Bryce. Whoops. Whoops, he says. Yeah, it's a little bit of a whoops right there. As we're going to take a quick little break here. We're going to get a quick word in here from our sponsors over at Scary Strokes. Huge shout out to Scary Strokes being on board with us here for another amazing season here with the Slingshot Sim Racing Series. And he's been around here with Peacemaker Gaming and John Fowler and all of the amazing series that he's put on for us and helped show up and show out. So huge shout out to Scary Strokes. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Scary Strokes and Doug Roth being a part of all these series that John keeps putting on and keeping him going and everything else.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your coolish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini-golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual...
Alrighty, as we go back to Green Flag Racing, a little bit of quick costume change right there. Keep you guys on your toes up in the chat as we go back to Green Flag Racing, the 71 ride. Out in front, looking to try to run away with this one. Grango Berry leads us again down into corner number 3, nice and easy. Out at corner number 4, and he will lead another one here at Richmond Raceway is Willie McKellar. There in second, he's right on it, as we did see. Unfortunately, looked like Christian Delgado. Unfortunately, looks like he spins the tires here down on the bottom side of the speedway. When we go back to Green Flag Racing here, take a look at the Sim Motion number 13 ride as he gets onto the gears, spins those tires, heads right down towards that inside wall. A good job of keeping it out of trouble, keeping it out of the fence here, but unfortunately for the number 13 ride, he loses a ton of positions, now settled back in at the 14th spot on the speedway. So a tough break right there for our third place drivers. Now you see the New Vegas, follow New Vegas ride of McKellar, and a little loose there himself out of corner number 2 there. Had to catch that ride, as right there on his back bumper is that 93 of Zach Lockett as the Tennessee Titans Camaro rolls there in position number 3. Lockett right there in that third spot. Ira Colas in the, in the shades of Austin Dillon, the number 3 machine, making a comeback last Sunday, and maybe trying to make a comeback here in this one, as that 3 machine looking deadly out there on the speedway. If I was everybody else, I'd be keeping a close eye in that rearview mirror, making sure that 3 ride can't get close enough to pull in AD out there on the speedway. It's Charles Barnes. Charles coming in, show the love with the like on the stream. Papa Mike, Michael Dickinson coming in with the heart reaction as well. Actually, I don't know if that's Papa Mike or if that's son Papa Michael, but either way, Michael Dickinson coming in, showing a big love here in this one, as Grango Berry at the front of the field, the tailor-made number 71 machine at the front of the field. The Velocity Pixels at Liberty University number 71 ride continuing to stretch out his lead now to 9/10 of a second between himself and William McKellar, as McKellar back there in position number 2. Lockett there in third. It is Papa Mike. It is Papa Mike. We love to see Papa Mike up in the house, up in his zizzle here, as James Michael B coming in with the thumbs up, as well as Jeremy Vaughn coming in showing the love. Jeremy, where are you, brother? You're supposed to be out here on the racetrack. Same with Charles. Where in the heck are all the boys, brother? We're running low on cars here, fellas. We need to get more drivers out there on the racetrack, as Ira Colas back in 4th. Doug Roth up into the 5th position here. Roth, Pettit, and Jessica are 5th, 6th, and 7th place drivers here on the speedway, moving up through the field. Doug Roth up 6 spots, now inside the top 5. Adam Pettit up 8 positions. They're in 6th. Sean Jessic up 5 spots in the Anything EC Sparkle and Shine number 19 ride. He is there in the 7th spot. He's up 5 spots on the speedway. John Fowler there in 8th, with Christian Delgado there in 9th. Russell Martin Jr. there in the 10th spot on the speedway, as Ty Dickinson rolls there in 11th, as the Sweet Tea Gang ride rolling up here. The Stay Salty machine rolling there in the 11th position. Ties up 5 spots here on the speedway as well. So he's getting that Papa Mike Promotions ride rolling to the front of the field here, doing a great job here to start this evening. John McNeil, who we saw go around there during that first caution flag, he rolls in the 12th position, with James Smith in the Old Bay Baltimore Orioles number 10 ride there in 13th. Christopher DeWalt back out onto the racetrack after missing the start of this race as the Liberty University 82 ride rolls there in 5th, and we see Bryce Dickinson in the 15th position as DeWalt in the 14th spot. Dickinson there in the 15th position. I do believe the first car 1 lap down out there on the racetrack. Andrew Hainsley, unfortunately, down pit side here. Quite a bit of front end damage here for the Hainsley ride, as Hainsley with quite a bit of front end damage. I don't know where he got into the wall, but he has found some heavy contact there. Tons of damage for that number 29 ride. As he brings up the rear of the field at the front of the field, putting him another lap down. That is Grango Berry continuing to lead the way as Jeremy, what in the world? How in the world did that happen, brother? How in the world did that happen? Is Michael Dickinson, Papa Mike coming in with the share on the stream. Ryan Boucher coming in with the thumbs up as well. How are you, Ryan? Ryan coming in, showing the love with that thumbs up here on the broadcast. As, man, some great racing action. And as Nate says, I heart Lockett. He's going to win. No cap. No cap, he says. No cap. He's going to win. Ooh, that's some big words right there. I like the no cap. I like that. I like that. You know, I kind of I respect the the dedication and the encouragement and everything else here, and you know, having the faith. Having that faith in Lockett to get it done. I mean, he's been so close. He's been right there. We've seen him have such good cars here. You know, a lot of weeks. You know, week after week after week, having great cars and having great opportunities. Just hasn't been able to quite find that way to victory lane yet. But we'll see if he can find it here in this one as the 93 ride rolls there in that 3rd position, right in behind the 75. And now we're starting to get into the question of long green flag runs. That's a big thing that can happen here at Richmond once these tires kind of get a little bit of heat in them. They kind of get a little bit better. You know, cars kind of get into that rhythm where they start to just hit their marks, not making as many mistakes when they're door-to-door and side-by-side with other guys. When things get a little bit more single file out there on the speedway, we can see a lot of green flag runs start to build up here for these drivers, and that's where, you know, your setup is really going to come into effect, and your driving style will really make a difference. If you go hard early in a run, you're going to feel it on the back end as your car's going to burn out those tires in a quick hurry. But if you can roll out there, take it nice and easy, kind of save some of the tires there for you, and have some left later in the run while everyone else is struggling, you can power through and pick up a lot of spots on the speedways. Look at John Fowler right there. Looked like he almost lost it coming out of corner number 2. Luckily enough, he was able to save it, keep that car pointed in the right direction, and out of trouble there as the 94 ride rolls back in the 8th position. My boy Andrew says, my race was over early. I got loose out of 2 and hit the wall head on. Oh no, brother, that's a tough one, dude. That's a tough one right there. These cars are so, I'd say touchy. They're so touchy out there, man. Like, you try to save them, you try to keep yourself, you know, pointed in the right direction. So we'll take a look back at it right here. Here comes the 29 ride just out of corner number 2. We talked about this as this is going to be a trouble area, and it looks like he's just losing the rear end and trying to save it. The car just hooks up into the outside fence, and that's where the Sonic Graphic Designs Hainsley Motorsports number 29 ride gets that initial damage. And fortunately, he was at the back of the pack at the time. No cars coming, so no caution flag for him either, which is even more heartbreaking. But by the sounds of it, it's got a lot of repairs to do here for that 29 machine as down pit side, still down pit side as well. That's a heartbreaker right there, brother. That's a heartbreaker for Mr. Hainsley out there on the speedway as out in front, Grango Berry. Continuing to lead the way here is David Will, 72, coming in, dropping that follow over on the Twitch channel. How are you, David? David coming in, showing the love here, smashing that follow on the stream. No, sorry, David, I don't really add anyone to Discord, unfortunately. As out in front is TaylorMade, number 71. Leading the way, showing these drivers that he means business here on the evening. Already out to 2.7 seconds of an advantage between himself and William McKellar, as McKellar still trying to hang on to second here. He's got a bit of a battle brewing back here behind him as Zach Lockett trying to hunt him down. The 3 right of Ira Cole is right there in 4th. Adam Pettit in the 5th position with Doug Roth now sliding back to position number 6. So Adam Pettit continues continues his march towards the front of the field as Adam there in the 5th spot, up 9 positions on the racetrack. Carol Hainsley, Carol coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream as well. How are you, Carol? Carol coming in, some matching that thumbs up here on the evening as well. How are you, Carol? Coming in, showing the love here in this one. As there you go, you see the 3 ride pulling over right here, letting a lot of these guys go by. Maybe just trying to take it a little bit easier. Maybe trying to not get in their way and save that car, as she knows that a lot of very, very fast drivers coming right up here towards the front of the field. Is Pettit now going to jump into 4th. Doug Roth there back in 5th. And Sean Jessic in position number 6. These 3 drivers have been working themselves up and through the field here in a quick hurry, as right there behind him, Cole is now back to 7th. John Fowler there in 8th. Christian Delgado, after his mistake on the restart, spinning those tires, almost going around, had to save it. Luckily enough, able to keep the car pointing in the right direction. Now he's trying to regain from that mistake on the restart. Has himself back up inside the top 10, rolling there in the 13th position on the speedway, as John McNeil there in position number 10 as the 48 Exalta machine rolls there in the 10th spot. We see Russell Martin Jr. in the Tracker Boats number 20 there in 11th. Christopher DeWald there in 12th, with James Smith in 13th, and Ty Dickinson rounding out our lead lap drivers here in the 67 ride as he rolls in position number 14. But you see our race leader coming up right there behind him as Bryce says, tossing in the towel. Brycey Bear, what? No, come on now. No tossing in the towel, brother. You got to get back out there. Get back out there. Have some fun. Enjoy the racing actions. We do still see a little bit of right front damage there for that 84 ride as the E&D Farms machine, the farm full of misfits, ride down pit side here as he's got that Mustang unfortunately in the stable right now, as out in front a wild horse running, putting that 67 ride down a lap. It's Greg O'Berry who leads the way here in this one. O'Berry showing them how to get it done as the sun's starting to set. Things are just starting to heat up here. As Brian says, I don't understand the track. I've been in the way. Just being smart. Yeah, I get you. No, this is a very, very tricky racetrack. Honestly, this is a very tricky track. I mean, NASCAR makes it look fairly easy, and some of these other leagues, they can kind of get in there and do pretty good, but we've seen Richmond races go one or the other way. They're either a really, really good, clean race, or we see an abundance of caution flags out there on the speedway, because it's so easy to, just your throttle input or your brake input or anything like that. You mess with it a little too much, you get onto the throttle too quick, you can spin the car around in a quick hurry. It's like, it's a very technical racetrack out there, and very, very tough on people that haven't really found the line or found the niche for it or figured out what they need to do to really navigate this speedway. As right now you're taking a look at it as Greg O'Berry definitely has found the way to get around this racetrack, as he's out in front by 4 seconds here. Has a 4-second advantage all the way back to the 75 ride of Willie McKellar. McKellar still hanging on to P2. Zach Lockett there in 3rd. Sean Jessic rolls there in position number 4, with Adam Pettit there in that 5th position. Doug Roth there in 6th, as these 3 continue to try to work themselves towards the front of the field. Ira Colas, John Fowler, Christian Delgado, and John McNeil round out our top 10 out there on the speedway, as Ty Dickinson, the first car 1 lap down out there on the speedway. The next driver at risk of going a lap down here is this 10 ride of James Smith. Smith has the number 71. Slowly but surely reeling him in here, only about half a straightaway back of that 10 ride, if that. He's catching him in a quick hurry. So right now, James Smith also at risk of possibly going a lap down. May need a caution flag or something big to happen out there on the speedway to try to get himself out of this possibility of going a lap down, as Greg O'Berry right there hounding him as he reels him back in here, trying to put that 10 machine down a lap. And this is exactly what Greg O'Berry wants to do. He wants to continue to stretch out this lead, continue to pull away from his fellow competitors back there behind him, but at the same point in time, he wants to be able to catch these drivers that are up here in front of him, and he wants to put them even farther behind him, as he wants to put as many drivers a lap down, kind of trap them back here where they can't get back onto the lead lap, where if anything does happen to the 71, he's going to have a lot less work to try to deal with out there, as there may only be 4 or 5 cars left on this on the lead lap here if we don't see a caution flag in just a little bit, as he's slowly but surely reeling in his teammate Christopher DeWald and Russell Martin Jr., but he's got a little time. He's got time to be patient out there, and that's the smart thing for Greg O'Berry to do, is just be patient. Be sure, make sure you hit your marks. Don't burn these tires up. Don't use up your equipment too early, as there is still a lot of racing action left to be had here from Richmond Raceway. Is down through quarter number 3 and out at quarter number 4. He will click off lap 47, and lap 48 will go up on the board, so we're 2 laps away from being 1/3 through this feature event. So still a lot of racing action for that 71 ride out there on the speedway, as Carol Hainsley says, "Oh, Andrew, I was so ready." Bummer. Yeah, it was definitely a bummer for Andrew already being taken out of this one, as I'm doing pretty good, sir. Sorry, I'm not sure of your name. I'm Carol, you can call me Peacemaker or Peace, or you can call me by my real name, which is Aaron. You can call me Aaron. That is my real name. A.A. Ron. A.A. Ron. But most just call me Peace. That's easy enough as well. You know, Peacemaker. Most people just call me Peace, or they call me Aaron, or you can call me whatever you want to call me. You can call me sir. You can call me dude. You can call me dude. Sir, I don't care what you call me. You can call me whatever you want to call me. Is out in front right now. Greg O'Berry continues to lead the way, as Justin Toll, my boy JT, coming in, showing the love. What's good, Justin? Justin says, "What up, Aaron? What's up, Justin?" It's good, Mister. That's good, Mr. Toll. How are you, brother? How you doing today? How you doing today? It's out in front. Greg O'Berry continues to lead the way, but we get a new driver here into position number 2, as Sean Jessic works himself up into that second spot. Jessic up 10 positions on the speedway, and now into position number 2, as William McKellar there in third. Adam Pettit himself up 10 spots, now into position number 4. Doug Roth also able to work his Scary Strokes STP machine around the 93 as Zach Lockett. So Lockett slides all the way back to position number 6 on the speedway. Ira Colas right there in 7th. Then we see Christian Delgado, John Fowler, John McNeil, Russell Martin Jr., Christopher DeWald, and James Smith rounding out our top 13 still on the lead lap. Ty Dickinson down pit side here, getting the Stay Salty machine down pit road. Here's the Papa Mike Promotions ride, goes to get some work done. We did see Bryce Dickinson off the speedway, and Andrew Hainsley already off the track as well. As Greg O'Berry continues to lead the way, my boy Justin Toll says, "Doing good, preparing for the storms rolling in." Oh, brother, that's no good. That's no good. Storms, hopefully it's just rainstorms, thunderstorms. Hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully it's no like hurricane or anything else, or hopefully it's no like tornadoes or anything, brother. Hopefully it's just a storm. The Streaming Canadian. Yeah, you can call me the Streaming Canadian. Yep, you can call me the Salty Canadian. You can call me the Happy Canadian. You can call me whatever your little heart desires. That's all that matters. Whatever makes you feel like, you know, whatever you want to call me. You want to call me Monster, you want to call me Pepsi, I don't care. You can call me Dog, I don't care. Woo! Is out in front, Greg O'Berry continuing to lead the way, slowly but surely stretching his lead out. Sean Jasic running a little bit closer to lap times with our race leader. Actually, last time by about 6/100ths quicker. So he's gaining a little bit, but not a whole lot, as you do see the 19 right there in second. He's trying to close that gap, and it actually looks like he is starting to eat away at it just ever so slightly. His last time by Greg O'Berry, our race leader, was a 23:51, where 2/10 quicker for Sean Jessic. So 2/10 off of our race leader's lap times here. So Sean Jessic trying to reel in that number 71, as now you see the new Fallout New Vegas Voltec 75 ride trying to get around the 10 machine. Looks like the Old Bay ride of James Smith will go up the racetrack. He's going to let these guys go by him here, as McKellar hanging on to third with Pettit and Doug Roth there in fourth and fifth, as Zach Lockett slides back to 6 here. Christian Delgado now up into 7th as Ira Colas rolls there in the 8th position. John Fowler and John McNeil rounding out our top 10. Russell Martin Jr. in the Butt Crack Motorsports number 20 ride rolls there in 11th with Christopher DeWall there in 12th. James Smith, Ty Dickinson, Bryce Dickinson, Andrew Hainsley rounding out the field here, as I do see Ty Dickinson's also taking his ride off the speedway as well. Ty, brother, you were starting off so well, my dude. You were starting off so well. You gained spots. You worked yourself up almost into 10th. That's just dang. Yeah, see, this is a love-hate kind of racetrack, you know. As I said when Bryce said that he was thrown in the towel, it's a very, very difficult racetrack. It is a very... You kind of just figure it out, man. There's something with it. Just the throttle inputs or braking points, or there's something about this racetrack. And if you don't got it, you don't got it. You can struggle immensely here at Richmond Raceway. And if you do get it, then you know you can roll around here pretty good and find a lot of speed. And we're seeing that out of Grango Berry throughout this evening, as he's been the reflection of perfection. He's led every lap so far, as Sean Jessic trying to hunt him down up 10 spots. McKellar right there in 3rd. Adam Pettit, Doug Roth, our top 5, all doing pretty good out there on the speedway. As my boy Justin says, we had some strong winds about 3 weeks ago, tornado-style winds, but no rotation. Oh, thank God, brother. Listen, I just watched that Twisters movie last night. I mean, I didn't go to the movie theater, but I found somewhere where you can go and watch it without having to hand it out. So, we watched it last night. Clear, perfect, HD. It was beautiful. Man, it's such a good movie. Such a good movie. I'm actually thinking about probably watching it again after the broadcast here tonight. I watched it last night. I'm probably going to watch it again tonight because it was actually a very, very good movie. I remember Twister back when I was younger, man. It was such a good movie as well. But the new one, man, there's something with it, man. I don't know if it's Glenn Powell or what it is with the storyline for it and everything else, and like just the action to it. It is so good, man. It's such a good movie. And if you guys haven't watched it, I suggest definitely watching it. As guy says, Greg is showing everyone up. You have to finesse it, and I don't know how to. Yeah, you definitely gotta finesse it around the speedway. We've already seen it. You know, first caution flag we saw it with you know, Bryce getting into the corner, you know, just getting onto the brakes a little bit too hard. The rear end will come out and around on you. Or we saw at the same time, we saw the 48 rider McNeil go around at a corner number 2 as he was getting onto the throttle. If you get on just that little bit too much, you'll break traction and spin yourself right around. And we saw that with the, you know, the number 29 right of Andrew Hainsley as well. We saw him, you know, have that issue, spin those tires, try to save it, get into the outside fence. Tons of damage for the 29 ride, and I'm sure we may see more and more drivers have that issue throughout the day. But right now, we do see Sean Jessic is hunting down our race leader. Now, I don't know if Jessic is pushing the subject, if he's trying to reel him in here, trying to put the power down, or if Grango Berry's just been kind of taking it easy here, just kind of rolling around the speedway, maybe saving some of his equipment in case if someone does run him down, you'll have something left in the tank here. So it'll be interesting to see if Sean Jessic can catch him and actually make a pass happen, or as he gets closer to the back bumper of the 71 ride, to see Grango Berry just pull away from this number 19 machine. As my boy Ty, Mr. Dickinson, coming in with the love as well with that heart reaction on the broadcast. I appreciate that, Ty, coming in and showing the love there with the heart reaction here in the broadcast. As everyone coming in showing the love here throughout the evening. I appreciate that. Everybody coming in showing the love. If you haven't already, make sure you guys do me a favor. Make sure you hit the like button on the broadcast, hit the share, hit that follow, and hit that subscribe button if you're watching over on YouTube, or if you're watching over on Facebook and Twitch. Make sure you hit that follow button. As out in front, Greg O'Berry continuing to lead the way. He's out in front by 3.3 seconds between himself and Sean Jessic. Jessic now about 3 seconds between himself and our third place driver, the 75 ride. As you see these brake rotors absolutely glowing on these rides, man. As they send them down into the corner, it's a thing of beauty to watch these brake rotors absolutely just light up here. As you can see them right there. There's a great look. Look at the front right tire there, and even the front left in some of these entries. As These cars are pushing it. They are using the brakes up heavily here. And you can see those brake rotors just glowing on these rides. And we have seen brake failures become a thing here in the past at Richmond Raceway and a lot of these short track speedways. So as tires start to fall off, fuel starts to run out, and these brakes really start to heat up, we can see more and more issues for these drivers as Adam Pettit there in position number 4, battling hard with the 43, Doug Roth, as Roth in the STP, Scary Strokes, Dirty Monkey Motorsports number 43 ride there in 5th, Christian Delgado, slowly but surely working himself back towards the front here as the SimMotion.com number 13 ride rolls there in the 6th position. Zach Lockett there in 7th, John Fowler back in 8th with Ira Cole as Sean McNeil rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Russell Martin Jr. there in the 11th spot with Christopher DeWald back in position number 12. James Smith there in 13th with Ty Dickinson, Bryce Dickinson, and Andrew Hainsley bringing up the rear of the field here as Greg O'Barry at the front of the pack here, continuing to show these drivers how to navigate this speedway as it is a tricky one. We've already seen 3 drivers take their rides off the speedway, and definitely not the way we want to see it. We want to see these guys out there racing hard, competing all race long, and having 3 early exits. Definitely a heartbreaker for us as out in front, Greg O'Barry just continuing to click down these laps, continuing to try to pull away more and more and more as he's got himself out in front by still over 3 seconds between himself and Sean Jessic. But Jessic is hunting him down, but 75 laps in, 5 more laps left to go as we're halfway in and halfway to go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, caution flag out there on the speedway. Yellow flag is displayed here. It's a couple of drivers getting together, and our second yellow of the day is going to fly. So our second caution flag coming out during the Peacemaker game, and crank it up. We will take a look back and see what happened here to bring out this yellow flag on the speedway as these drivers are in the middle of some green flag pit stops. So this could really mix things up as our race leaders were yet to come down pit road. So Grango Berry, Sean Jasic, Willie McKellar, and Zach Lockett were yet to make a green flag pit stop, where a lot of these other drivers had already come down pit road. Now they may be able to get the wave around, try to get themselves back onto the lead lap here, but they may be more than one lap down. All depends on where they were when they initially came down pit side. So things could get very, very interesting for a lot of these competitors as Grango Berry down pit road here, looking to come out of the pits here as our race leader, but doesn't look like he's gonna get it. Looks like Sean Jasic, first driver out of the pits here. So Sean Jasic going to come out with that race lead. Grango Berry going to be coming out in position number 2 here. So we finally get a new race leader here at Richmond Raceway. Our first time with a new leader down across the line here. Only took about 85 laps, and then we finally see another leader here on the evening. Grango Berry will have to wait and see what he can do to try to get this race lead back away, as he'll have 65 more laps, 64 more laps left to go here, and probably about 60 laps left in the tank here before we go back to green flag racing as more drivers headed down pit side. We see DeWald down there. We see James Smith down pit side as well in the 10 ride as drivers are going to get ready to go back to battle. They will be looking for some wave around, see if we can get more drivers back onto the lead lap here on the evening as they are going to get ready to rumble here once again from Richmond Raceway as out in front. The 19 rider Sean Jasic leads the way, showing these drivers that he's been fast. He's showing that he's got the strength to do it here. We saw him work himself up from deep in the field during those first 2 runs and able to work himself up 10 spots into position number 2. Now finding that extra spot down pit side may be the make or break position here for Jasic, but it seemed like he was coming alive more or less on the longer run compared to the shorter run. We'll have to wait and see if he can carry that speed, that momentum here on these restarts and keep the 19 right at the front of the field here on the short-term run, as well as Grango Berry. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see those two duke it out, and they got Lockett right there behind him in position number 3. Christopher DeWald there in 4th, but I do believe he is going to go to the back of the line here with the free pass for the 82 ride. It's McKellar rolling back up there. McKellar should jump into 4th. Christian Delgado should be in the 5th spot here as they're going to get waved around our official iRacing pace car. So they're going to go around and it will be rejoining the rear of the field here. Adam Pettit, John Fowler, Ira Colas, Doug Roth, James Smith, I do believe, not getting the wave around, but all those other drivers are. So they're going to line up behind that 10 ride here. So we'll take a look and see 13 ride trying to track him down as quickly as possible as he wants to get back to their rear bumper before we go back to green flag racing, or else he'll be starting a little bit farther back behind these guys again. The 20 ride right there, as well as Russell Martin. He's actually still a lap down, so he's going to need a quick caution flag here to try to give himself the free pass, the lucky dog, to get back onto the lead lap, but he's going to have to get around the 10 ride of James Smith as we do go back to green flag racing. Sean Jasic with a great restart here. Jasic leads us down into quarter number 1, nice and easy. Out at quarter number 2 is the 93 of Zach Lockett, battling here door to door with the 71 of Grango Berry. Berry trying to hold on to that second position here, but the 93 trying to jump up and take it away, as for the first time during the green flag laps here at Richmond Raceway, we see another driver at the front of the field. Is the 19 rider Sean Jasic able to take that race lead away down pit side, as we see the 10 ride unfortunately get up into the outside fence. Heavy contact there for the Old Bay number 10 machine of James Smith. Got up into the outside fence at a quarter number 2. 2, and he does it again there at a corner number 4. So a couple times tagging the outside wall here, possibly heavy right front damage for that 10 machine, and there you go, the 20 ride of Russell Martin Jr. will roll around him, and John McNeil trying to pass him here as well. This is a battle for the free pass position on the speedway. Now Russell Martin Jr. taking that free pass spot back away. He's in that lucky dog position as McNeil in the second car, 1 lap down. James Smith back there in third. Now the third car, 1 lap down, will need a bunch of caution flags to try to put himself back onto the lead lap, as here comes John Fowler working himself around the 48 ride here, or at least working to the inside, trying to work himself back up towards our lead lap drivers. The next car for him to battle is this 46 ride of Adam Pettit. Is Pettit there in 8th. He's got Christian Delgado there in front of him as Delgado rounds out our top 10. But at the front of the field, it's like this battle's starting to brew. We figured these two are going to be the 2 cars to really duke it out here on the evening. Sean Jessic doing a great job on the restart, keeping himself at the front of the field, keeping the 71 ride back there behind him. But now, how does the strategy play out here? Is the 19 ride kind of ruining his strategy for the long run racing here by running a little bit harder right now, trying to keep that 71 at bay? Or is Greg Berry maybe using up his equipment too much here, trying to hunt down and try to figure out a way to get back around that 19 ride? Is the anything EC 19 is Sean Jessic at the front of the field. Greg Berry there in second. Zach Lockett in third with William McKellar. Christian Delgado, our top 5 out here on the speedway. Adam Pettit there in 6th with John Fowler back in 7th. Ira Cole is there in 8th with Christopher DeWalt there in the 9th spot. Doug Roth in 10th here, rounding out our top 10 in that Scary Strokes STP number 43 as Russell Martin Jr. The first car 1 lap down here in 11th, and John McNeil right there behind him as they battle for that free pass position on the speedway. 48 right, putting the pressure on the back bumper of the 20 machine, as they know a caution flag could put them back onto the lead lap, as James Smith a little farther back here in that same category. 1 lap down, looking to try to work himself into that free pass spot on the speedway. It's Ty Dickinson, Bryce Dickinson, and Andrew Ainsley all off the speedway here. All 3 of those drivers back behind pit wall, as our field has gotten quite a bit smaller since the start of this race. Only a few drivers left out there, but they are still putting on one heck of a race for us. Is Cliff Adams. Cliff coming in, dropping that like on the stream. How are you, Cliff? Cliff coming in, showing the love here in this one, dropping the reaction here on the broadcast. Sean Jessic showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one. But now Grango Berry there in second. He was able to lead the first 84, 85 laps of this race, and then down pit side, Sean Jessic, who was hunting him down, was able to get a good pit stop and work himself to the front of the field down pit side, and now try to lead the final 60 laps of this race to try to steal this win away from what looked to be a dominant Greg O'Berry style of a race here. Is out in front early in this one by over 4 seconds on the rest of the field, but then Sean Jessic got up into second, able to work himself only a few seconds behind our race leader, and he was the fastest car out there on the racetrack, and now he's shown that muscle here since that restart, keeping the 71 back there at bay. Now trying to open up that advantage here himself, as strategies possibly kind of changing between the 2 drivers. Maybe Grango Berry going to give him that race lead right now, let him try to burn his equipment up a little bit sooner than what he would like, and maybe Grant going to try to hang on to those tires for a late run push to see if he can track down our race leaders. We do see the caution flag fly. The caution flag coming out. A tough break here for John McNeil and Doug Roth, but a good break for Russell Martin Jr. as he is in that free pass position. So he will get the wave around him back onto the lead lap here himself, as it looks like John McNeil and Doug Roth possibly coming together here. We'll take a look as the Exalta McNeil Media number 48 ride sends it down into corner number 1, and just looks like he loses the rear end, saves it, and then all of a sudden it goes around again on him, and as he slide in, the 43 ride of Doug Roth is going to slide down there, as well as I'm sure he was probably trying to lock up those brakes, trying to keep himself out of trouble, as well as he sees this happening in front of him, and he's just going to get onto the binders, it looks like, and down onto the apron, and just lose the rear end himself. Luckily enough, doesn't look like any contact or damage for either of those drivers. So just a couple spins down in corner 1 and 2 and a quick caution flag. So drivers will be looking to get back out there. As, yeah, man, Doug just definitely had a good look at this one. Sees the 48 ride go around here in front of him, and he's thinking he's maybe watching back down the speedway and doesn't get down onto the apron. Once he does, it just change the surface, the change of angle just gets that car loose and spins him around. A tough break there for the STP number 43 machine, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Some pit stops for these drivers as my boy Dustin Benton, Big D, coming in showing the love, says you the man, Big D, you the man. Dustin coming in showing the love here in this one. How are you, brother? How you doing tonight? How's your Wednesday going? How's hump day going for you? How's hump day going for you, Mr. Benton out there? As we'll see over 100 laps now in this race chat. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. We're getting closer and closer to the checkered flag here on the evening. Less than 50 laps of racing action left to go, and it's anyone's game as now we see some more strategy kind of being played here. We see Sean Jessic staying out on the speedway, but we do see Grango Berry down pit road. He's going to throw on a new set of tires here. That may be the difference maker on between picking up the win and not picking up the win here on the evening, as Berry will roll back out here in the 7th position. Zach Lockett going to go with him here. So both those drivers with some fresh slicks here on the speedway. And you see William McKellar there in 9th. He's also got some fresh equipment in with Doug Roth and Russell Martin Jr. as well. So this is going to be interesting. Some older tires, some newer tires out there on the racetrack. And John Schmidt, John coming in, showing the love. What's good, Mr. Schmidt? Schmidt coming in, showing the love here. Smashing that thumbs up on the broadcast. How are you, John? As Dustin says, back to the school year grind, my man. It's about bedtime for me. 4 a.m. comes early. Brother, that is insane. 4 a.m. definitely does come early. That's when I normally go to bed, is about 5 a.m. So we're on opposite ends of that spectrum, as I don't gotta worry about going to school or driving kids to school or anything else. So, and that's crazy, man. You guys go back to school super early. Like, when does your summer vacation start for like public school and high school and stuff like that down there in the States? Because we don't normally go back. If I do recall, when I was in public school and stuff, when I was in grade 1 to 8 and then 9 to 12, like, we were done from basically the middle to end of June, around like June 20 something. And we didn't go back to school till like the beginning of September. It was like, either the first week or second week of September before we would go back to school for the school year. So it's baffling to me that school's already back for so many people down there in the States, and we're only like midway through August. It's kind of actually wild for me. It's kind of wild, like when I think about that. As we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing, the pace car down pit side. We will send them down through the Geico restart zone, and we go back to green flag racing here as Sean Jessic leads the way over the 13 of Christian Delgado. Delgado rolls there in position number 2. The 43 Adam Pettit there in 3rd as the 46 of Adam Pettit. Look out! Show Christian Delgado. Oh, baby, we saw him burn the tires off it on one of our earlier restarts and went to the back of the pack, and it looks like that may bite him here again. Let's take a look from the restart here for the 13 ride, as Christian Delgado just seems like he's struggling here with a little bit of the restarts. Just the tires kind of falling underneath him. He does get a decent one right there. He slides quickly down low in behind the 19 ride of Sean Jessic. Rolls the middle of the corner nicely, but then on corner exit just looks like he gets on the throttle a little bit too much, and that rear end just kicks out and around on him. A great job, though, keeping that car from staying off the inside wall, keeping it in one piece and pointed in the right direction as we keep on rolling out here on the speedway. We do see the caution flag fly. That's William McKellar turned around the 93 of Zach Lockett. Damage for the 10 ride as well as the big one down the back straightaway, and caution flag coming out. What's up, Peace? What's up, Frank? Mr. Ranger coming in, showing the love. What's good, Frank? Frank coming in. Says, what's up, Peace? What's up, Frank? How you doing, my dude? We get out the end of May and back 1st of August. Okay. Yeah, so May, June. Yeah, so I guess, yeah. I guess that makes sense. I mean, you're just like, you end a month before us and you come back a month before us. So I guess that makes sense. I just never knew that. It's actually kind of kind of wild now that I have so many more friends across the U.S. and everything else, and I'm seeing all their kids and stuff that are now old enough to go to public school and whatever else, right? Like they're posting photos of their kids going to school and everything, and I'm like, we're still a month away up here in Canada, so yeah, we're just like a month behind you guys. So we go from end of June to September, where you guys go from end of May to the end of August. 2-month period, same 2-month period that we get, just different times of the year, which is kind of crazy. We get the whole summer off, though. You know, we get July, August off up here in Canada, which I don't know if that's better or worse. I feel like that might be better. It's like actual summer months, right? But I mean, you got to deal with that heat, but that's kind of it. Looking forward to Tuesday, making my first race back in the HCK Beagles League. Guess Sersky, can't wait to see you out there. Frank, can't wait to see you joining the fun. We were hoping to see you out there last night, as we missed a good race. A lot of great racing action out there at Daytona International Speedway yesterday. But we saw you tuning in, watching, cheering those guys on. As Mr. Glenn, Matthew coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream as well. How are you, Matthew? Matthew coming in, showing the love as well. As Nate says, lock it, locked in, cooking up. Yeah, locked in, lock it. He's cooking up something. Not my Pookie Wookie Bear. Yes, unfortunately, your Pookie Wookie Bear did have some issues here on this caution flag, as we will take a look at it and see, as McKellar was working himself back up through the field here, and those fresh tires, but that car goes around hard up into the outside fence right there, and then contact, as it looks like the 43 of Doug Roth and the number 82 of Christopher DeWald get together here. See if we can get a look at this one, as I'm pretty sure DeWald and the number 43 will make contact. As in front of them, the 75 will go around, and then right here just looks like maybe a little net code in that 82 ride. Just, oh man, heavy hit there for DeWald. Heavy hit for DeWald, heavy hit for McKellar, but it looks like Natco, that 482 already kind of going around here. Unfortunately, goes around over the nose of the 43 of Doug Roth. He comes down into the 93 of Zach Lockett, as you see the 75 hard up into the outside fence. The 82 ride is going to join him with that contact. And then we saw Zach Lockett also get heavy damage here as well in this 93 ride, as he gets that contact and down hard into the inside wall as well. And man, a bunch of tore-up race cars there on the back straightaway, as we'll get them all back out onto the racetrack. We'll stack them up, rack them up, and try to get ready to go back to green flag racing, as John McNeil says, "You got this, Greg." Cheered on Mr. Greg Goberry. I don't know. Greg's fast. Greg is fast. Obviously, we saw him lead about the first 85 laps of this race, but Sean Jessic, he's been hitting his marks, doing his thing here at the front of the field since he took the lead down pit side. And I don't know, he's got the fresh tires though for Grango Berry. He did come down pit side, not this caution flag, but the caution flag beforehand. Came down pit side, got some fresh tires onto his ride, which gives him about 10 laps, 15 lap better tires than what the 19 ride is rolling with right now. So I think that may be the big difference maker between finding victory lane here this evening for the 71 ride and the 19 is going to be that tire wear, as both drivers have shown they're both very, very fast. It's that 19 ride though, great restart right there. Waiting till the 71 got right through his back bumper, rolled out of the throttle just ever so slightly, then hammered down and looking to run away with it. But here comes those fresh tires, and this is what we were talking about. These fresh tires are going to be hard to beat, especially if we go clean and green here for the rest of this race. If we don't see another caution flag within the next, really the next 35 laps, I mean, this one's over anyways after 35, but in the next 10 laps or so, we don't see that yellow flag. I think it may be very, very tough for this 19 ride to hold off the 71, but they're doing a great job of it right now. There goes John Fowler, though, down to the infield here. Oh man, hopefully not too much damage. Looks like he was able to save that ride. All the fenders still pointed on the race car. Doesn't look like any damage there for the 94, as he lost it coming out of corner number 2 right there, but keeps it pointed in the right direction. Out in front, Sean Jessic leading the way here. Jessic at the front of the package. Adam Pettit holding down the 71 right here of Greg O'Berry. O'Berry has not been able to complete this pass, and now it looks like the 46 of Pettit will make the, he's going to clear the 71 right here. So I'm not sure if maybe oh, hang on to it. Bennett going around. Does he save it? Does he keep that car pointed in the right direction? He does. Wow, what a save right there for that 46 ride. Adam Bennett, as he was around, he was sliding through corner 1 and 2 and able to keep that car pointed in the right direction. As Sean Jessic out in front, leading the way. Now has 7/10 of a second lead here between himself, Rango Berry, and the 43 at Doug Roth. See Roth all over the back bumper here of the 71 right now. The 71 could be potentially just kind of playing it easy here. There's still a lot of laps in this race, and as these tires continue to burn out, the 19 rides tires are going to get a little bit worse and a little bit worse, where the 71 maybe just trying to save his fresher tires here for a little bit longer in this run, but hopefully they don't level out. He may have to take advantage of having those newer tires here right now and jump into it and jump out there onto the speedway and try to hunt him down as and so far, a great race here. These guys have been putting on a good show for us all evening long. As Dustin says, I see that Tennessee Titans car. Tighten up. Yes, there is a Tennessee Titans ride out there. And that's Zach Lockett looking fresh. Unfortunately, not as fresh. He's looking a little beat up and a little bit torn down out there on the speedway. He's looking a little bit more like Ryan Tannehill right now. Kind of just absolutely, no arm on him, you know. Missing a couple parts, you know. He's got some of the package there, still looks good, but unfortunately some of it just not quite as good anymore. As I don't even know who you guys have there anymore. Who do you guys have? It's the CJ Stroud that's the Tennessee Titans. Who's the new good QB there? Who's the new good QB for Tennessee? Didn't you guys get somebody? I thought you guys had somebody else, not Tannehill or anything else. I thought you guys had someone. Beat up just like his Titans. Go Miami. Yeah, well, normally we see a Miami car out there as well. Normally, a few times this year we've seen the 75 ride of McKellar sporting the Miami Dolphins ride, and he's got him beat up too, as he's looking like a little bit of a tuna fish there, all punched in and beaten up as well right there as the 75 ride rolling there in the 12th position on the speedway. Will Levis, I knew there was somebody else that was there now. It's a little bit newer, not as bad, but Tanny will be a good backup. Yeah, he'll definitely be a decent backup for him, for certain. A lot of new guys coming up. Have you used the bonus money I sent you yet? Yes, Matthew, we used that a couple weeks ago. We had a clean and green race. I mean, the Friday night series that we have for the MNT Cup series, man, they have been on a roll. They've been on a roll. I think out of their 8 races so far this year, they've already, like in the last 8 weeks, I think 4 of their races have went caution-free. And they're running these, I think they're running the Cup cars. They could be in Xfinity cars. I think they're in the Xfinity cars. But, man, they've been putting on some great shows for us, man. Going clean and green, no caution flags, doing a great job. And they thank you for putting out that extra $10 as well, Matthew. That's absolutely insane, brother. We appreciate that. As Frank Ranger says, we need him back in Miami. Our backups suck. Yeah, that's a rough one right there. I mean, I don't know who my Eagles have as a backup anyway, so, I mean, as long as Jalen Hurts does good, I'm happy, you know. Then Jalen's looking good, so I don't know, man. The Eagles, this is our year, brother, to get back to it. Go back to the Super Bowl, and this time we're winning it, okay? We're winning it this year. Okay, and Sean Jessic, he's looking to win it here at Richmond Raceway as he leads the way. Greg O'Berry, they're in second. Doug Roth in position number 3 as Christian Delgado, they're in 4th. Christopher DeWald in position number 5 here on the speedway as Adam Pettit got himself pointed back in the right direction. Now trying to work himself maybe back up inside the top 5 if he can figure out a way to get around this Liberty University number 82 ride as Albert Colas there in 7th. Russell Martin Jr. there in 8th. Zach Lockett and John Fowler are top 10 here on the speedways. They battle door to door here for the 9th spot here on the speedway. Probably be a Viking after the rookie got hurt. Ooh, yeah. Your defense will have issues though. Yeah, I feel like the defense not as good. Obviously, you know, we lose we lose a couple good players. Obviously, you know, we lose Kelsey. You know, we lose a couple other good guys, but we got a couple great draft picks there for the defensive side of things. So I think that'll help us out a little bit, bring us a little bit more life. We had a couple good signings there, and I mean, who was the running back that we signed? Did we sign Markley? So another good running back as well for us, and everything else. So I mean, hey, as long as we can put up 40 points a game and let in 20 points a game, I think we'll be all right. Y'all have our old defense coach. Players don't like that one. Eagles have Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. That's right. Yeah, Kenny Pickett is signed there. It's honestly not bad, you know. And Pickett got a bad name, but I mean Pittsburgh just wasn't good. So I think Kenny, with the right coaches and in the right time, and you know, kind of just learning and following Jalen Hurts and stuff, I feel like he'll be all right. He'll be all right. He's not going to be a superstar by any means, but you know, he can probably step in there and do decently. Titans by 50. Settle down, Big D. Settle down, all right? Settle down. Okay, you guys can barely even make it to the playoffs, so just settle down. Settle down. Baby steps there for your Titans first, okay, brother? Baby steps. You gotta be able to crawl before you can walk, and you gotta be able to walk before you can run, okay, Dustin? So just bring it down a little bit, okay? Bring it back down to earth, brother. Okay, what's up, brother? Bring it back down, okay? As in front, Sean Jessic continuing to lead the way, but Greg O'Berry right there on his back bumper. O'Berry not leaving the back end of that number 19 ride, not letting him run away with this one as of fucking course, my Pookie is fresh. Yeah, of course, he says. Of course, Nat says that Pookie there in the 93 ride's looking fresh out there. He was looking a lot fresher earlier in this race. The car's not looking as fresh anymore. I mean, it's looking more like a wheel and modify out there on the speedway, looking more like an open fendered race car out there on the track, and definitely has had a little bit better of times out there as what a good clean race. The 19 CIS, the 19 is on rails. Yeah, the 19 definitely has been very, very fast here. And I mean, for O'Berry to not be able to make this pass yet is what could be troublesome for a lot of these drivers, as they may be running out of time to make those moves and be able to make their way to the front of the field here. And as time is clicking down, both these cars have been at the front of the field. They have led all the laps here this evening. We saw Greg O'Berry in the 71 lead about the first 84 laps of this race. The 19 ride from deep in the field had to work himself up towards that second spot. Was hunting down the 71 ride before we saw the caution flag there around lap 80. Down pit side, the 19 comes out of pit road in front of the 71 ride to give him this race lead, and he hasn't given it up since then. He's been able to hit his marks and keep that 71 ride back there at bay, but O'Berry did come down pit side about 10 laps, 15 laps after that. So on this farther run here, the 19 ride's tires may be sliding away a little bit more than what the 71's rides are. So he may just be paying patient here, maybe waiting, biding his time for the last, 5 laps, 10 laps of this race to really start to put the pressure on Sean Jessic and trying to take that top spot away from him. We're going to see how it all plays out here in just a little bit as the laps are clicking down. 10 laps left to go here at this point as you kiss my big fat white ass. Listen, no kissing, no butts here. It will take time with a good coach, and Kenny will be fine. Yeah, 100%. I think so too. Y'all have Dick Fango. I guess he is the DC for Philly. Dick Fango. Dick Fango. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, Frank. It's Cody DeForge, my boy Cody, coming in with the like on the stream. How are you, Cody? Cody coming in, showing the love with that like on the broadcast. Is out in front. Continue to lead the way. The 19 ride of Sean Jessic continue to show these drivers you can talk shit about anything but my Titans, laugh out loud. I'll trash talk your Titans all I please, Dustin, okay? Don't you worry about that. I'm gonna trash talk them too. I'll trash talk anybody or anything. I'll even trash talk my own team. I don't care. We should have won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, bro. But I'll try. I don't care. I don't even care. I barely even watch football that much. I'm just in it for the fantasy points now, okay? That's all I care about. But I don't have any Phillies players, and then I don't want Philly to do good because that's going to help other drivers or other players in the fantasy draft. As 6 more laps left to go here. The 19 rider, Sean Jessic. Does Greg O'Berry have anything left in the tank? Can he find a way to get up and around the anything EC number 19 here on the evening? As Jessic, does he have enough left in the tank? Can he hold off a charge from the 71 ride? If O'Berry gets there to his back bumper, do we see an Austin Dillon style move? Do we see AD make an appearance here in the Slingshot Sim Racing Cup Series here on this fine Wednesday evening? Will we see that big bump and run from the 71 ride, or does O'Berry just take it easy and follow this 19 ride around the racetrack? Both drivers locked into the playoffs already. Both drivers will have a opportunity here, though, to earn themselves some extra playoff points, and those playoff points can take you a long way. They can be make or break as every single point when it comes down to our stages and our point system throughout that regular or throughout the championship run. You're going to want to be able to have those in your back pocket to help you through round after round after round and make it to our final 4 to have an opportunity at picking up this championship here. As out in front, Jessic just looking to try to open up and manage that gap here a little bit between himself and the 71 ride. And there, down the back straightaway, able to get a great run as down through 3 and out of corner number 4. He will see 2 more laps left to go. So the twin sticks in the air for the 19 ride of Sean Jessic. As Sean out in front, he is starting to actually open up the lead here between himself and Greg O'Berry. O'Berry back about 0.6 of a second now behind the 19, as down through 3 and out of corner number 4. They'll head down across the start finish line. We see the white flag fly. So one more time around here for the 19 ride of Sean Jessic. Is Jessic nice and easy down through corner 1 and 2. He's going to take us down the back straightaway here for the final time here at Richmond Raceway. Is down into 3 and out of 4. No bump and run from the 71 is the 19 ride of Sean Jessic in the anything EC Sparkle and Shine. Number 19 will pick up the checkered flag here at Richmond Raceway in the Slingshot Sim Racing Series. The 19 ride picking up another win, earning himself more playoff points here for his run for the championship here in our inaugural season of the Slingshot Racing Series. The 19 will roll up to the front straight away here after getting a bump from the 71. O'Berry giving him some congratulations, as we thought for certain O'Berry would have been able to put on a bit of a run there. Give him a run for his money a little bit more. Stayed right there with him. Put the pressure on his back bumper, but couldn't get anything to happen late in this race, as Sean Jessic gonna burn down the house here, pumped up, picking up the win here as he gets it done at Richmond Raceway. He is absolutely psyched about being here in victory lane, as O'Berry comes home in second. Christian Delgado gonna come home in position number 3. Doug Roth in the Scary Strokes number 43 ride comes home in 4th, and Adam Bennett rounding out our top 5. Christopher DeWald, Ira Golis, Russell Martin Jr., John Fowler, and Zach Lockett our top 10 here on the Speedway, as James Smith, William McKellar, John McNeil, Ty Dickinson, Bryce Dickinson, Andrew Ainsley bringing up the rear of the field here in this one, as ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the 19 ride of Sean Jessic as he picks up the win here this evening. We'll get ready to pull our top 3 into the broadcast booth after an amazing race like that. As Frank says, peace after show is over. Contact me on Discord, please. Sounds good. Shoot me a message on there right now so I don't forget. Okay, do I see? No, I don't see you. I see John Ross. Okay, yeah, shoot me a message on there. I gotta go through some messages anyway, so I should be able to see that and should be able to make sure we get you up here and get you into it. As we're gonna jump in. Sean Jessic waiting down pit side. We're gonna get him up into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interview here in just a couple seconds. We're waiting for him to jump into the waiting room here. As Mr. Glenn says the 71 is on the move. He was on the move. Unfortunately, Dustin, Miami will defeat the Titans. Yeah, I think they will too. Don't forget who signs your paycheck. Oh my gosh. Hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. Don't be saying that. Come on now. Come on now, Dustin. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't do me like that. As we're going to pull in our race winner, Sean Chesick, up into the broadcast booth. We'll pull Sean up into the booth right now in that 19 machine. Hey, Sean, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yeah.
Sean, man, another great run, another great race here as you get that 19 ride to the front of the field. Took you a little while, but you had to work yourself through the traffic here, man. Take us back through this race. We saw you start deeper in the field, slowly but surely work yourself up into position number 2. You start to hunt down and close the gap between yourself and the 71 of Greg O'Barry. We see that caution flag down pit side. The crew goes to work, gets you back out there in the top spot. Never from that point, you never look back as you run away with this one and pick up the checkered flag, man. Take us back through it and, those closing laps, how you were able to pull away from the 71 ride and keep them back there at bay.
Yeah, I totally messed up my qualifying there. It was pretty terrible. I lost it coming out of 4 there on my first lap and, was trying to hold on to it, barely tapped the wall right in front of the start-finish line. I couldn't get it slowed down in time, so wasn't able to set a qualifying time, so I was starting in the middle of the pack there. Lap 3 or 4 or so, I totally lost it coming out of 2, and I was in P last. Once that first caution came out, I started making some moves there, and it was just really, really hard to pass. By the time I was able to get up to the top 5, I think I was only about 2.5 seconds behind Greg there from the lead. So I knew I would be able to get up to him. But by the time I got from P5 or 6 up into second, he was like 5 seconds ahead of me. So I mean, I lost just a ton of time battling with those cars. It's so difficult to pass here. Even to get alongside someone is super difficult, and then you got to go get around them. It's so tough. So by the time I was get up to second, I think he had a 5 second lead or so, and I knew I was slowly getting that down. I had a couple run-ins with some lap cars, and was able to get that down about, I believe, 2.5 seconds or so. When that caution did come out, my pit crew gave me a wonderful stop there, giving me the lead, and like you said, never looked back at that point. I just pit that once, and we were good there, and I knew at that point, I didn't. My strategy was kind of up in the air. Um, I saw a couple cars in the back pit once we got that next caution. We only ran about 14, 15 laps or so, but I know just how difficult it is to pass, and tires don't really fall off as much as you think here in these cars. I figured I'd stay out. And then I was, playing on my phone, sending some text messages. I look up on the next caution lap, and everyone else wanted to pit. So I was definitely getting a little scared there for sure. No, I was on 20 lap older tires than the rest of the field, and I didn't feel like we ran enough laps to warrant me having a pit. But seeing everyone else pit definitely scared me. So I knew I had my work cut out for me. I was saving that whole first little stint there before that caution, and the rest of the way, I just was kind of saving and trying to keep Greg and Adam behind me. Adam did, spin himself out there going into 1. So it was just Greg really behind me. And no matter what I did, I couldn't lose him. So I was just trying to save, and with 20 or so laps to go, and then I started getting on the gas harder and trying to get pulled away from him because, he went from, 7, 8 tenths back all the way to my back bumper, with those freshies he had on. So it was definitely tough. Then the last 10 or so laps, I was pushing it so hard, just trying to keep it straight too and out of the wall and keep my brakes good. I definitely had a couple moments or two those last 10 laps, but we were able to keep going and slowly pull away from Greg. But it was definitely a tough race there at the end. He gave me a run for my money for sure. Definitely would have been a hell of a lot easier if I started from the front qualifying, but not always the hand you're dealt.
Absolutely. And well, hey, even though you're dealt a bad hand at the start of the race, you're dealt a good one here at the end, as even with the older tires, able to figure out this racetrack and keep yourself at the front of the field with Greg right there waiting for you to just make a mistake, make that one little bit of a slip up, slide just ever so slightly, coming back onto the throttle out of one of these corners, and he would have been right there ready to strike. And after seeing, the craziness that we saw unfold on Sunday with the real life NASCAR series, we were just hoping for no late race caution flag there for you, as we didn't want to see another Austin Dillon deal here in the Slingshot Sim Racing Series, as I know these guys will probably not try those moves and everything else, but you just never know. And when someone wants to win that badly, as we saw AD do there on Sunday, and you may see a driver trying to send it in there a little deeper on one of these late race caution flags, knowing that it's short track racing and the intensity's up and wins are on the line, and we're getting down to the nitty gritty here for being able to work yourself into the playoffs or not. So you got to be a little bit on your tippy toes there, and I'm sure it might have been sitting in the back of your mind here in those closing few laps.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. I was just hoping that we stayed green the whole time. I figured that was my best shot there instead of taking the gamble with trying to figure out what the right move is, pit or stay out, especially being on the oldest tires on the track. So I knew if we had the green flag go to the end, I had the best shot there with how I was saving my tires. And I know Greg's got a couple wins already too. He's safely locked in the playoffs there. So I mean, I figure it's my best shot, and with him right behind me too, because I know he's a respectful guy too. He wouldn't punt me. He's already locked in. So the best finishing spot for us at that point would be 1 and 2, but it was able to pull away, so it worked out definitely in my
Absolutely.
favor.
Worked out perfectly here for you in this one as you park it up in victory lane here at Richmond Raceway. Greg, or not Greg, Sean, who would you like to thank here for such a great run and great drive here this evening as you park that number 19 right up here in victory lane?
Yeah, like thank all my Rev Racing teammates. I know, life and stuff gets in the way. Not everyone's running right now, so just me and Adam here tonight. I know Mike Madden's he's got a little cold, so hopefully he'll be back with us next week. And some of the other guys, they got some other stuff going on in their lives, so hopefully we'll all be back soon. Like to thank anything you see Sparkle and Shine shown over there. Does a whole lot for our whole team, so always a big thanks to him. Big thanks to John running the league. I mean, ever since it was handed over to him, he's been doing a great job. With everything he's done. So, we wouldn't be here without him, and I really appreciate what he's got going on here for us. Lastly, I thank you up in the booth. Like I say every time up here, really appreciate what you do for all of us. I look forward to watching this one back. It was a good race for sure.
Absolutely. Some good racing, some solid performances out there on the racetrack, but no better performance than yourself as you pick up the win here this evening and the hard charge, I do believe, as you started at the back of the pack and you find your way to the front of the field here in this one. Sean, congratulations on the great run, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next week, as we'll see you out there on Tuesday nights for the Truck Series with the HCK Beagles, and then right back up here for the Wednesday Series race with the Slingshot Sim Racing Series.
And hopefully we'll talk to you a couple times next week. We'll see.
Absolutely, brother. We back it up like you did this week. 2 trips up here already, and I'm sure we'll talk to you more and more often with some solid runs, some solid performances that you've been kind of going through. A little bit of a hot streak now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Everything's clicking right now. So hope to keep it going.
Absolutely, brother. We look forward to seeing it all unfold for you, and we hope to see you back up here in Victory Lane next week.
All right, thank you. I'll see you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Sean Jessic as he comes home with the win here this evening. Parks the 19 ride up in victory lane as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, Greg O'Berry. As O'Berry coming home in position number 2, we'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Greg, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
Hey, bud, how you doing?
Not too bad, Greg. Man, what a great run to start this evening off as you lead the first 84 laps of this race. Then all of a sudden, that 19 ride beats you out of pit lane, and ever since then, you just couldn't quite find your way back around him.
Yeah, I made a mistake coming into pit road there. Into my box, I slid through it and had to back up. If it wouldn't have been for that, I would have beat him off pit road, and maybe it would have been a different race. But he was really good. I mean, he was running me down before the pit stop, before that caution came out anyway. So he's certainly as good, if not a little bit better than me tonight. But hey, man, that last 50 lap run or whatever it was probably the most fun 50 laps I've had this entire season.
Well, we love to hear that, man. We love to hear you guys are having fun and enjoying the racing out there on the speedway. As we saw some great battling there, we saw some great racing. We saw you get down and get some fresher tires than the 19 ride. We really thought throughout that final little bit of a run, that final 35, 40 laps there of Green Flag Racing, that we were going to see that 71 ride just all of a sudden, find a different gear, use those fresher tires, and figure out a way to get around the 19 ride. But we just didn't quite see that as the tires kind of stayed fairly balanced between the two of you there after that next caution flag from when you came down pit side.
Yeah, when we got when we took the restart, I got side by side with Pettit and thought that I'd be able to get by him fairly easily, but he ran it really hard as he should have. He obviously did nothing wrong. Just ran me really hard, and I had to get my stuff used up pretty good there. And then once I finally got by him, the 43 was diving it in so hard on entry, I had to overdrive the corner just to keep from getting ran over. I felt like, at least for what I was driving, what I'd been doing all night. And I felt like I just kind of used my stuff up on that early part of that run. Tried to let him cool off, and then got back to within a couple car lengths of Sean, and just couldn't do anything with him. Once I got to him, start getting really tight. I was working the brake bias and couldn't find that sweet spot. I was either too tight or I'd put too much rear brake in it and would be slipping through the corner. But it was so much fun just trying to play the chess game with him. I go in and he would slip one corner, I'd get a run on him, and then I'd slip the next corner, and we did that. I felt like for the last 20 laps, but it was fun knowing that he was giving me everything he had. I was watching him slide, and I haven't seen him do that this entire season. Be slipping as often as he did. So it was fun knowing we were both uh, giving it everything that we had. Uh, Although a little frustrating, and I was just talking with Christian before you brought me in here, listening to the lap time. The spotter would call out, the leader would run of whatever the lap time was, and I would be a half of a hundredth off of him, and it was that every single time it would call out a lap time. The top four cars were within a hundredth of a second almost every lap. So uh, good racing, a lot of fun. Wish I could have kept the lead there in the clean air. I think I could have done something a little different from the lead, but hey, tip of the cap to Sean. He certainly earned that, and he deserved it.
Absolutely a very good race, and as you're saying, man, a lot of good lap times being laid down. Everyone's so consistent and so close together, man. Makes it very, very tough to not only get the runs that you need to be able to try to, get a door open to make a pass or anything else. It's tough to make those passes actually count as they, pinch you off a little bit on corner entry, or they, hold you down there through the center of the corner, and just makes it even tougher for you to try to make a pass down on the bottom or up on the high side. Almost virtually impossible, as they'll just run it in there a little deeper and kind of pinch you off up there on the high side as well. So it's very, very tough, very hard passing out there, but a lot of great racing here between you guys all evening long as you park it up here on the podium, position number 2. A race that we saw you lead the first 84 laps or so of this event, and right there, so close, nipping at the heels of the 19 ride, so close to a checkered flag. Got to sting a little bit, but you got to be pretty happy with the performance here this evening out of the 71 machine.
Yeah, overall it was a good night. Looking at these last few races, trying to finish up the regular season, want to get those 15 bonus points heading into the playoffs. Uh, Goal number one was just to have a good solid run. When I sat on pole, I thought, okay, I got a good shot to repeat the spring and pull off another win. But yeah, just a blast running that last run there. I really wanted to get up there and try to get by him, but I knew that we were not going to have a repeat of what we had to watch Sunday night in Richmond. So that wasn't going to happen. It's too much respect amongst these guys up here at the front of the field. So enjoyed it. Had a good time. Want to say thanks to the team, Victory Motorsports, Red Sea Racing. Those guys, a couple of those guys had some good runs too, and they got caught up in a late wreck. Just appreciate their help and everything as well, and what you doing for the broadcast too. Appreciate that. The admin team for this league. I think it's headed in a good place, and looking forward to finishing this year up and getting ready to do it again next year.
Absolutely, brother. We look forward to seeing you back in action out there on the racetrack next week. And we like to, man, this is the playoffs coming right up, man. It's going to be wild. It's going to be intense. It's going to be a lot of fun watching you guys duke it out there for that championship here in the inaugural season of the Slingshot Sim Racing Series. But, man, another good run, another good race here for you, Greg. And we look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday. And hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth as you try to hunt down that regular season championship.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and congrats again on the second place run.
Thanks.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Greg O'Berry. O'Berry coming home there in position number 2. Oh, so close to victory lane once again for the 71 riders. We'll get ready to pull in the 13 machine of Christian Delgado, the boss man. Christian Delgado, we're going to pull in the number 13 up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Christian, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Aaron.
Christian, man, a bit of a wild run here for you in this one, but you're able to rebound and work yourself back up towards the front of the field and salvage a solid top 3 finish here as we saw you run into some issues early in the race. We saw, restarting down low. You burn the tires up. You go almost into the inside wall, but you lose a ton of track position throughout that green flag run, though. You work yourself closer and closer back towards the front of the field here, and then, we see you late on one of these other restarts again at a corner number 2, losing that rear end just ever so slightly, coming out of that second corner and almost getting into the inside wall. You're able to save it, though, but again, all of a sudden you find yourself at the back of the pack here, knowing that you have a lot of cars to have to try to pass to get back up here, and slowly but surely you were able to get it done and get this 13 machine up here in 3rd.
Yeah, it was definitely an eventful race on that. I think it was the second restart of the race. John and I talked about it. You said you got in the back of me a little bit, and I think it just upset the car enough to kind of get me upset. Luckily, like I said, I locked it down and didn't take anybody out with me and was able to get going again. But felt like we had like a top 2, top 3 car. I don't know if we could have went up there and raced up there, but yeah, went up there, raced back up to, I think it was like a 4th or 5th place, and then came down and pitted, and then as we were pitting, the caution came out. So wish that we would have stayed out a little bit longer, but then had the same mistake, pushing too hard on the restart and spun out. But yeah, we came down. There was that last caution. We actually came down, pit, took tires, and we had the freshest tires in the field, and worked our way back up through there. But yeah, Doug definitely wasn't gonna just let me go, so I had to really battle with him to get up there. And then by the time I got past, just not enough time to get to Greg and Sean, even if I could do it. Like with the last, I would say 15, 20 laps, we're all running identical lap times. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was exhausting, but it was fun definitely driving through the field.
Absolutely, definitely a lot of fun when you're out there and you're able to make passes and put cars back there behind you and battle door to door with some of these guys. Just shows the respect and the talent level out there on the speedways. We saw you and Doug battling there for that 3rd spot late in the race, but we saw so many great battles throughout the evening. A handful of caution flags, not as many as what we saw here in the spring, so that was definitely a bit of a blessing. Gave you guys a lot more green flag laps to be able to battle and duke it out here as in the spring, we saw Greg O'Berry kind of run away with it right there, but this race seemed like there was a lot more drivers that were right there in contention and not really letting him just kind of walk the dog with it.
Yeah, definitely, and I feel like that's just part of just people running with each other a little bit more. I feel like John and all the admins upstairs have definitely done a better job, incentivizing clean driving and stuff, with not only the incident counter, but also the claiming and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I just feel like it's an account too. Everybody running with each other a little bit more. Like Richmond was pretty early in the season. Not everybody was accustomed to how everybody else drives now. I mean, we're almost into the playoffs. I would assume everybody kind of knows everybody's tendencies of how they're going to drive and who to watch out for, who to, just let by if they're faster and stuff. So yeah, I mean, we love to see long green flag runs. It definitely helped me get back up to the front, because if we just had cautions, I don't think I would even had an opportunity to get up here and race for a podium.
Absolutely, but you're able to get up here. You're able to park that 13 right up here in third. Christian, who'd you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here all evening long?
Yeah, first of all, I have to give a huge shout out to like Sim Motion Racing. I think this is, unfortunately, but unbelievably, I think this is Sim Motion's first interview on the car. So give a huge shout out to them. I think when John won, he didn't have Sim Motion on for that race. When I won at Daytona, I didn't have Sim Motion on. When Jackson won, he didn't have Sim Motion on. Kenny, I think had Sim Motion on. So technically, this is our second. But a huge shout out to them. Thank you so much to those guys for giving us an opportunity to and believing in us. But also have to give a huge shout out to all the league admins, John and Ron and Russ and all the guys in the background. Give a huge shout out to you for the broadcast, doing a heck of a job, especially as a solo man, putting it on. I gotta give a huge shout out to HVTV for putting on the truck broadcast. I always have a good time going back and watching those as well. But I also have to give a huge shout out to my sponsors at HVTV, Track Racer, Steel Car Detailing, Sim Motion, Bully Dog Coffee Company, and a last shout out to the Bean team. Thank you, Jeff, Soli, everybody over there for what you do. I love and appreciate all you guys. And then also have to give a huge shout out to the folks over at twitch.tv/Christian Boss 13. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this or anything, league racing or anything if it wasn't for them cheering me on and stuff. But yeah, can't complain about P3. Wish we could have gotten ahead of Greg to help close in the points lead, points battle for regular season, but can't complain about a podium.
Absolutely, definitely a great drive still nonetheless. I mean, honestly, wanting to try to get that regular season points championship, only a few races left to go here in the regular season. Every point is on the line. Every point matters here at the later stage, but being able to kind of rebound and have this good solid run and kind of hang right there with him where it could have been a whole lot worse of an afternoon for you. Definitely got to feel pretty dang good. And we look forward to seeing you guys duke it out here in the final closing races of the regular season to see who is going to pick up that regular season points championship and the extra 15 playoff points that go with it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Absolutely. Well, Christian, congrats on the third place run. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the Speedway next Wednesday. Congrats on the third place finish, and hopefully you have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.
You too, Aaron. Have a good rest of the night.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Christian Delgado. As Christian coming home there in position number 3. A great run and a solid performance there for the 13 machine. Unfortunately, though, that is going to do it for us here on the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in, showing the love here this evening. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, any of the new followers, any of the new subscribers. I appreciate each and every single one of you, but we got one more thing left to do here is our sponsor over at Butt Crack Motorsports. We're going to do a random number draw here. So a random number and of any of the top 16 starting positions here on the evening. 16 drivers started. So we're going to hit the random number generator a bunch here, kind of just get it kind of reset, refreshed here, and then we'll stop it. We'll let you know when the next one is. So whichever number that this generates will correspond to a finishing position on the evening, and whoever finishes there will earn themselves an extra little bit of a payday here from Butt Crack Motorsports. So shout out there to Butt Crack Motorsports. Make sure you guys check them out over on Facebook, as we're gonna click through it a bunch of times here, kind of get things refreshed. We're gonna stop it right there. So the next time we hit this button, that will be the winning position here for the Butt Crack Motorsports giveaway. We are going to go number 11. 11 is the winner here for the Butt Crack Motorsports giveaway. So the 11th place finisher, I do believe, was James Smith. James Smith, I do believe, finishing there in 11th and picking himself up the Butt Crack Motorsports payday here. So huge shout out there to him. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for us here on the evening. As I said, can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here all evening long. You guys absolutely coming in, crushing it here. All the likes, comments, shares, everything else, man. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys back here possibly tomorrow for something. I don't know what we're going to have planned or what's going to be going on tomorrow, but we're going to try to get something going. We're going to try to have some fun, whether it's playing Call of Duty or Fortnite or doing some racing or a couple broadcasts as well. Who knows what may be in store for tomorrow evening, but we plan on getting something going for you and some cool action for you guys tomorrow evening. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Make sure you guys have those bell notifications turned on. That way you don't miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. But we'll catch you guys back here in the next one. Peace out for now. Congrats to our race winner, Mr. Sean Jessic, once again. And thank y'all for watching. Peace out, baby. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
Rooks, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini-golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini-golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to